Good evening. January 6th was the day a group of people who call themselves Patriots stormed the Capitol Hill. A sad day in America. They trampled over the whole place. And these were people who believe in their mind, in their hearts, that they were doing the right thing because they have been fed with lies and misinformation that drove them crazy. I'm in the whole group. There people have different agendas. First one might be abortion. Abortion is one issue that is very core to particularly Trump supporters. They will use Jesus, they will use religion and everything to defend that stance. But abortion is more about demographic changes. They are starting to become, the population of black and brown people is growing, whereas the population of white people is diminishing. And then the possibility is that more and more black and brown people are in position of authority or in good position and doing well financially and economically. That is driving those people who feel that they should have more privilege crazy. It's driving them crazy that they want to have to find all sort of excuses to try to make sure that they remain the majority. That is one point. The next point is socialism. Every time you talk about healthcare for all, government funded or tax funded education, they will call it socialism. Please note that most governments in Europe, Italy, France, Germany, and so on, do have lots of social programs, safety net that they have for their citizens. Any good nation that wants to remain strong and powerful has to make sure that every citizen have it should be human right to have good health care and to have good education. And if you are laden with a lot of student loan and you come out of university and can't find a job, it's not a good thing. And if you pay a lot of money for healthcare and you are in debt and you have to file for bankruptcy or not take your medication because you're poor, you lost your employment, your job, it's not a good thing either. So what they do in Europe, in those countries, including Canada, is to have, because the only money government makes is through taxes. Everybody is taxed if accordingly or appropriately, so that they provide for those who need education and healthcare. And when those people become employable or are employed, then they too will start to pay taxes into the same pocket so that those behind them will get the same benefit. So there's nothing free about Medicare, healthcare, and education because it is tax funded, it's government funded programs. So America's system is capitalistic. And that is why we have about 64,000 people who are homeless around LA in California. That is why it is essential to ensure that because people are working two jobs and still can make ends meet. And people are living in their vehicle or cars because they can't afford to pay rent in LA. So it's a shame for the country that is the most powerful and rich country in the world. We should have programs to help people to get back on their feet, help them for education, help them for healthcare, and then control the prices of the drug and the services that the hospitals provide. That will bring down the costs more. Now, socialism then is not free. Those programs, whether it is healthcare or education, they are not free because we all pay for it. And that is where the rich have to pay the fair share of the taxes. Trump paying $750 for his tax year 2018, 2019 is not right. It's not right in the sense that even a cleaner or a janitor in some of his properties pay more taxes in that year, in those years, than he did. So it would be a good thing to get the rich to pay more or share more of the taxes, like just a fair share of the taxes, like the poor working people. So The issue is to try to find a middle ground, like in Europe, whereby it's a middle ground between capitalism and socialism, whereby you have the opportunity to be independent and be able to make your own money, whereas we make provision to help those who are helpless. Then the next item on my next topic I want to talk about has to do with immigration. Immigration, a lot of people benefit. Most of those people who talk trash about illegal immigrants themselves, including Trump, hired illegal immigrants because it's cheaper labor and they make more money by hiring illegals or immigrants that are freshly in the country who don't demand a lot. And when you talk about immigrants coming here invading the country, you it's almost like a dog whistle for people to hate them because you call a dog a bad name so as to make it a target for destruction. So when you talk about immigrants invading the country from the south, how do you invade the country with baby in your arms and your little kids following behind? It doesn't make sense, and it's cruel. So immigration is another thing that the MAGA people or people who support Trump use to kind of incite people to want to be patriotic and almost become violent like they did on January 6th. The other issue also is LGBTQ. LGBTQ has to do with homosexuality. Many of the people who condemn homosexuality for religious reasons themselves could be pedophile or homosexual behind closed doors. There have been many instances of some of these evangelical leaders who come to find out about their private life, how they live their life, whereas they do one thing in public and they do another thing behind closed doors. I don't care who sleeps with who. I don't care who marries or fall in love with the other, man to man, woman to woman. It is between them and their God. Just like abortion, it is between the individual and their God. Everyone pay taxes. We have programs that we all need to contribute to. We do things that we are obligated to do as citizens that without me imposing my agenda on you and you imposing your agenda on me. So those are the issues. And the reason why I say this is because I feel really bad for those people who have been arrested and those who will eventually be arrested because they were caught in this web of lies from Trump and his acolytes, which brought them to Washington D.C. to trample on the on Capitol Hill. There was a situation some years ago where a young man drove about 8 hours or more with his rifle all the way to Washington, D.C. to shoot up a pizza parlor. Why? Because he had his head full of stories about young girls being exploited for sex in that pizza parlor, maybe in the basement of the pizza parlor. And if actually the story he was told was that it was the Democrat, maybe Obama and the Clinton that were doing that. Now you come to find out that Obama never hung out with Jeffrey Epstein. Trump did, and some other big guys hung out with Jeffrey Epstein, who is a well-known pedophile. So those are the issues. I just pray for the nation and pray that those people will get some leniency, particularly those who did not kill anyone, who were just there and were caught in the web of the chaos. God bless America, and thank you very much for watching.